Hi. How great will be your life if you were able today to live without failure? How great will be your business if you have this capacity of succeeding every time without failing in any domain, in everything you do. I have this story of mine that is very interesting. It was 10 years ago here in Cameroon, is in Central Africa, in the city of Yaoundé where I'm living. I started a bass guitar class because as I was younger, since my younger age, I always wanted to become a professional bass player. And one day I asked my instructor this question: how come a person like me with no skills, a person who is not gifted, can become an excellent bass player in the future? And my instructor replied to me that what people call gift or gifted person is a kind of myth, because when it comes to music, the only thing that matters is my willingness and my determination to learn, to grow, to practice every day and every time. And I began to apply this advice, and some years later I met a professional bass player who used to travel all around the world to play bass and in many gigs, and he shared with me an experience that completely changed my perception concerning failure. He shared with me how one day he met one of the legends when it comes to jazz guitar bass player or jazz in general. The person is Richard Bona, and he asked him, "Hey Richard, tell me, how do you manage your work time to have such an improvement to play with excellence like you are playing every day, you are playing now?" And Richard replied to him by saying that I always do, or I always practice difficult and challenging patterns and pieces, because it is only by doing what is challenging and difficult that you will grow and you will progress. And finally, that professional bass player gave me this advice: if I have one advice to give to you, my friend, is to practice every day difficult and challenging pieces in order for you to grow. And if you do that, you will grow faster than you ever think. And long story short, 1.5 years later, I was the bass player of one of a great gospel band here in my country. And that experience changed completely my perception about failure. Failure is an indication that you are growing. Failure is an indication that you are learning. You cannot grow without learning, and you cannot learn without failing. When we see babies, or when you see a baby who is falling, it is because he is trying to walk. And the baby cannot walk if he is not willing to fail. And fail in this sense, it is not a calamity, it's just a learning process, a growing process. This is the same with us in business, in life, in every domain. Learning is part of, failing is part of the learning process. And the consequence of learning is growing. And the consequence of growing is succeeding. You succeed because you grow. You grew. You succeed because you are growing. And you are growing because you are learning. And you are learning because you are failing. The more you fail, the closer you get to your destination. The more you fail, the closer you get to your dreams. Because it is only in hard time, in bad time, in challenging time that you and I will grow and progress. You see, this great bass player, Richard Bona, said that if his now among the legend all around the world, it is because every day he is doing challenging and difficult exercise. He is practicing difficult pieces every day because he understood that by doing that, he will progress, he will grow. And when we talk about difficult and challenging exercise or difficult and challenging experience, we talk about failure. It means that by failing, you understand that you are in a learning process, you are in a growing process, and afterwards, you will succeed. So now ask yourself this question: what is this situation trying to teach me? How can I turn this failing experience into a learning experience? How can I grow out of this situation? How can I become better by leveraging this failure experience? Ask yourself those questions, and you will see how the situation, the perception, or the image you have about the situation will completely change, and you will grow out of this situation and you will become better. I hope you got some value from this video. Don't forget to stay tuned for the next video on the same topic. It was Zoe from Cameroon. Success!